in. It's your girl Cori Love of the Cori Love Show. Tonight we have the pleasure of speaking with Shaquilla Williams. And I won't say her married last name because I can't pronounce it. I will let her do that when she tunes in. As you know, this month we're doing Carefree Conversations with domestic violence survivors. And we are having the pleasure again of speaking with her tonight. Shaquilla at Simply Shaquilla on Instagram. So as you know, when you come in, say hi, click on that arrow and share this out with your audience and let them know that we are here, and we will get ready to include her in about 2 minutes. So as you see, it is posted there, Carefree Conversations with Simply Shaquilla, and it's sponsored tonight by Collective Sisterhood. Collective Sisterhood is a organization here in Miami Gardens, Florida, which is a collection of other organizations who work with the youth in the community. So if you're not following them, make sure you follow them now and let them know who you are and how you can support them. All right. So again, I am Cori Love of the Cori Love Show. We will be speaking with Shaquilla Williams tonight, and I'll let her say her name, her last name. So I'm going to go ahead and add her right in. I don't have anything else to share tonight, so I'm just going to pull her right on in. I tried to pull you in, Shaquilla. Let's see. I'm going to try it again. How about now? It's not letting her come in. Okay, I'm gonna cancel that and let her try. Hey, thank you, Walmart. In the men's section. Okay, she requested, so let's see if it works this time. There it is.
Yes. How do I turn this around, girl?
How you doing?
Girl, I had to come to a quiet spot, but I'm well. How are you, sis?
I know how that is, honey. Don't feel bad. Trust me, I know how it is. Let me turn this up a little bit. How are you? You good?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm blessed. You are glowing, girl.
Well, it's not but the grace of God, sis, because I'm going through, but you know, God is good. God is good.
I know. Yes. I already know. Listen, tell the people who you are. Make sure you guys share this out with your audience. I want you guys to definitely get to know her. She is a speaker, a mother, an author, a woman of God, and she has so much that she can share. So make sure you let them know who you are and where they can find you.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you, sis, for asking me to come on for Domestic Violence Month. I take this conversation and this platform seriously, especially with you, because you support, you encourage. So I just want to say thank you and many blessings to you. And guys, I am Shaquilla Williams Anidobi. I'm an author of Cage Without a Voice. I am a domestic violence survivor as well. You can find me on Instagram at Simply Shaquilla, on Facebook as Shaquilla Chiamaka Anidobi. And for those, I know it's a kind of long name, so you could just put in my first name. My last name is Anidobu. So and I'm a mom.
Okay.
Yes, Anidobi. It's Nigeria, you guys. But yes, without further ado, like Cori said, I am a mother of two. I am a domestic violence survivor. I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker. And I am a woman of God most of all. And I just thank God, that she allowed me to come on this platform just to, tell my story. And like she said, it's carefree conversation. So whatever the Holy Spirit may be aligned with whatever we're talking about tonight, let it flow, let it rain, So.
Yes. So when I reach out, and if you obviously you guys probably wouldn't know, but I've known Shaquilla for like 4 years, 5 years now. Obviously, we met through
Hmm.
Instagram. We haven't been able to meet in person, but we have
No.
been,
Let's work
conversing
on it.
through her moves and different things like that, and we've stayed in touch. Um, and she is what you see is what you get. She like that's right, Nika. I love your energy already. That is her. That is her. She doesn't let any. That's it. Her energy is that right. It is an
Yeah.
African name. It is an African name. Her
Yeah.
last name. Hey Tammy from Miami. Thank you to Shadow for joining in, tuning in, and she speaks her truth, and I know
Yep.
that she's gonna tell it tonight. And thank you for being so receptive to want to share your story, because I know from what I've heard the other stories, I don't think it would be something easy, and I just really respect y'all not having pride and being able to share your stories with others that may be
Hmm.
going through it right now and don't know how to speak out about it. So I thank you for being a part of the show. And I'm gonna jump
Hmm.
right on in and just ask you, how did it start?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, we don't want to start with, being bitter. We want to thank God for me coming out. I am a domestic violence survivor. Thank you, God. And I'm now married to my husband. So we don't want to start off bitter, but it all started with being vulnerable and not having a father figure and not knowing who I am. I know who I am and whose I am now. So now I can walk in a space of, I'm a woman of God. I am wonderfully and beautifully made in
Mm-hmm.
God's image. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
before, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know that there was a purpose inside of me. And if the devil could, I would say, if he could divert me from that destiny, he has, because I didn't know what I was destined to be or become. So first
Mm-hmm.
and foremost, my children's father, he is a little bit older than me. And when I say little bit, it's 20 years older than me, you guys. And so as you know, we didn't have anything in common. I was in high school at the time, and
Okay.
he was, a businessman, working his business in a restaurant. He owns a restaurant where we reside or whatever. And it was a simple him coming to my college, bringing food to the kids. And,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep it 100. I love all.
Oh snap! It cut her off. I think she about to say I love food. Oh man, I don't know what happened. Hold on.
Water. Oh, do you hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh, you back? I think you're back.
Okay. So,
Oh
my
wait,
friend
no,
asked,
no, you're not.
oh, no,
So it's a delay. Say something again.
hello?
Yeah, it's a delay. I'm gonna take you out and bring you right back in.
Okay. Okay.
Oh snap! It was doing good right there. Okay, let's try it again. Hold on, guys. I apologize. So y'all know it's not me; it's the internet, which has been wacky. Um, Hey Tika, this is Shaquilla. She's on. Thank y'all for tuning in. Yeah, so you say he brought food to the college and you love to,
So,
I think you were gonna say eat.
yeah, so, and Jamaican food is, oh my God, that's food will bless your soul. So
Oh
he was
wait,
buying
wait,
and bringing,
pause. Pause. So he's Jamaican?
yeah, girl.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Pump your brakes. So this is my fourth interview, and this is the third Jamaican man. Listen, that guy that was on next week, guys, if y'all remember, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Y'all need to share this out with him. So go ahead. This is so great because you've seen the others, and the women have said the same thing. Immaculate say, see? So those of you that are just tuning in real quick, this is Shaquilla and Adobe. I said it right. Yes. She is
Yes.
now happily married to a Nigerian husband, and she has two beautiful daughters from her previous marriage. And she's going ahead and gonna continue on her story. As you guys know, we are talking to domestic violence survivors this entire month. And yes, Shelton, but I don't remember his handle. Yeah, so Shelton, last week you saw that he's a Jamaican young man, and he was like, "Oh, not all of us are bad." So he was like trying to, tell us that they're not all bad. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So yes, he started bringing food to my college, to the young ladies, and one thing led to another. I took his number, and we started corresponding outside of the whole food thing. We started getting to know one another, and one thing led to another. And then we ended up, I guess, dating, courting, whatever you want to say. And then, before you know it, we getting to know each other, we're courting. He was such a great person in the beginning. I never saw red flags until I actually started having my children. And that's what narcissistic people do. They tend to show themselves, later on in the line, down the line. So he started really to show himself when things, I would say got hard, because going from being a 40-something-year-old man with a 20-something-year-old young woman, and not having really balance. You're not married, you have no kids, you don't know what that's all about. So you're starting something new, and and I'm starting something new. So of course I'm very immature in certain areas as well, where I thought had growth in, which he didn't. So long story short, I saw a lot of things that I didn't know. And that's one thing that I would say to anyone, not to judge, but make sure who you lay down with is who you're going to be satisfied with later on. Don't get me wrong, my kids are amazing, and I wouldn't take them back for anything. However, I would say it's very imperative that you have those talk with your children, with whoever they date or whatever. You want to put the pros and the cons straight out on the paper. Is this person going to be good for me down in the road, financially, mentally, spiritually? I mean, first of all, our relationship was just built on sex and lust. Let's keep it 100. Let's call a ace a ace. Yes, I was in the church, but as I stated, I was a church goer and not really having a relationship with God. So at that time, I was in and I was out. And that's one thing with God. He'll allow you free will. So he'll allow you to make your choices and do what you need to do. But however, there are repercussions and consequences that you will have to suffer, not suffer, but pay for. So don't, I'm not getting it wrong. It was all on my children's father. There was some, situations where I put myself in where I should have analyzed that, but it came from not having a father figure. My father dying at 5 years old from HIV. So that spirit already was on me of rejection. My mother being mentally ill. I really had nobody but family members growing up. And I believe that they took that to their advantage. Like, that's Deborah's child, so we're going to treat them any kind of way. So I'm going to tell you, childhood trauma is real. And that would stem from the relationships and the, friendships, or whoever you be around, that can stem from that. But, like I said, you want to break those generational curses and everything. So long story short, we got together, we had children. I would say after the second child is when he really started to show his true colors. And when I say he started to show his true colors, he started to see that I was a woman in school, still with children. My mind was still on focusing on what I needed to do. It wasn't just about laying up in the bed having a good time with you. At the end of the day, my mama ain't raised no fool. So she, you know what I'm saying? So I still went to college and did, I still went to college and did what I had to do. And I remained with 2 jobs. I worked as if I was a Jamaican. I adapted that mentality ASAP, always hustle and get what you want when you earn it. So,
that's a New Yorker in you too.
Facts, girl, facts. Facts. That's a whole fact. I ain't even gonna lie about you, yeah, because I went down the south and I hustle. You right about that. So
Right.
yeah, it's in me. It is in me.
And,
Yeah.
and the thing is, you
So
said it, not to cut you off, but you said it from the jump. First of all, you guys are 20 years apart. So he find a young, what they would say, a spritey little young thing. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got this. Like, he figured
mhm,
he's big man on campus, and he got this.
mhm.
So what happened,
Yep.
I'm guessing, is you're young, you're still doing your thing, but he was like, for him, I don't know how it started. You're gonna get into that now, but he probably was like, wait, she's not supposed to be doing this. So then here it comes.
Yes. That's exactly what it was. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's
Wow. So
exactly
now
what it
you had
was.
the first one, and he was okay. It was cool.
I had the first one. It was like, oh, Carl, I have a pitney. Oh my God, all of them have a pitney. That's good. So everybody are big him up because they're saying he a man now because he
Right.
has a child. I guess in that culture, if you don't have a child to leave a legacy, you're not a man, as quote unquote. So
Mm-hmm.
then they bigged him up, his family, everything was everything. Until we had the second child, and I decided that I wanted to still work my two jobs, put my children in daycare while I will work. He said, no, you have to stay home, you have to clean, you have to do this, that, and third. And I said,
I like that accent.
eh, eh.
How
Me?
old was his other child though? You said he had one older.
No, my daughter. He only have two children.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you said he had a 20-year-old. Okay. Oh,
No,
okay,
no, no, no,
okay.
no, no. Nope.
Oh,
He
okay.
had
Got you.
no
Okay.
kids prior to being with me. No kids. So that's why I said the first one was
Oh.
big Carl up, him a big man now, him old, but him I've
You
pit
got
me
the
real, real,
accent
real.
down pat, girl. What? Oh my goodness.
So, oh yeah, girl, and I know how to do the Nigerian too. Don't get it twisted, baby. But
Okay. Wow. Let's get it.
yeah. So yeah, they bigged him up and everything because he had his first child at the age of 40 plus, and they was like, wow, by a young,
Okay.
bright spring girl, like you said.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing because I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first saw my child, I kind of regretted her in the beginning, and I could say this openly, but anybody know me, I love my children now,
Right.
now. I mean, listen, but at first I kind of resented her, like I had this baby and still a child. Like my mentality wasn't in mommy mode when I first saw my
Oh, okay.
offspring.
Okay.
It
Get
wasn't,
it.
it didn't jump into get into mommy mode
Yeah,
until
because
I
you're still young.
actually yeah, until
Hmm.
I actually was like, wait a minute, you're a mom, Shaquilla. Like, you're really a mom. It hit me afterwards, like you're a mom and you're about to have another child. But,
Oh.
listen, with God's grace and mercy, He allowed me to do the first one. It doesn't come with instructions, but we did, and she's 9 years old. To God be the glory now. But the second one, I had a little bit more. I was a little bit more seasoned with. But long story short, he started to show when my second child came. He started to show the aggression. He started to show the verbal abuse, and then it got after verbal. It was emotional for me, and then it got physical. Because he would say things like, go suck out your mother, and I would tell him to go do that as well, and then it would start fighting. It would start fighting. That would start an argument, and then we would fight. And then, but the long story of the matter was, he did not want his kids in daycare. He said, as a
Oh,
man,
okay.
he's the one that needs to be working, and I need to be home.
Yeah,
Um,
he's 20 years older than you. So it to him is, are you supposed to be in the house barefoot? Like, so what would trigger him though to like start being verbal? Like, what were his triggers? Did you pick up on them?
his triggers were me wanting to have my own independency, me wanting to better ourselves, because I thought at the age he was at, he wasn't really where he was supposed to be. Granted, you have a business, you're making money, but really the way your lifestyle was set up, it was dead. And when I say
Okay.
dead, you had money, but the money will go so quickly
Right,
to where
right.
you were partying. You wasn't really, you had nothing really to show for it. You really
Yeah,
had
he
nothing to
wasn't
show
quite
for it.
established. To yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah,
So he, so
right, Joy.
he,
He did.
right, right.
So, guys,
So,
don't forget, drop your questions in the question box if you have any questions. So, Joy said he found you working. So, I agree. You found me working. What makes you think it's going to change? Because I'm not going to
right.
depend on him. So, he expected you. That's another thing. He expected you, like I said earlier, to depend on you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because
Yep.
some young
Yep.
girls be like, oh, I'm with you because I need you to do. I wasn't
Take
like that.
care
I
of
was just
this.
like,
Okay.
no, I was very
Yeah.
independent. I had my own money and I made sure that anything he did was extra and it was money, to get my hair done, whatever, nails, whatever, at the
Yeah.
time before we had kids. So that was all good and dandy. But
Right.
he did not like that. I have a very independent spirit. And now of course, with my husband, I've loosened up a whole lot, but I still have my guard up because even as an older man, I would think he wasn't on the level that he needed to be on as a grown
Mm-hmm.
man that had an established business. He really
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. So there was some things that I learned from him and there was some things that he learned from me. But like I said, when we had our second child, that's when I started to see it was, oh, I need to go out to go find a job, or I need to go back to school. The baby's here. I was out of school. I want to go back. So it was either me sleeping with the teachers or going to church. That was an issue. I was sleeping with the pastor. So he said he wanted to seclude me. I would
Yes.
say he wanted
Yes.
me to himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He wanted me as a doormat to stay home and do what old people do, if you will. And I'm not saying old innocent, but I wasn't raised like that. I was raised to have your own, and if you come with a man, that would be a plus. But
Yeah.
he wanted to have complete control of me through his money and his well-established business.
So that right there, immediately he's like, "Oh, wait a minute. She going to church. She got a job. She not going to need me in the long run." That's probably what he was thinking.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
she said it, isolated. Yep, he wanted to isolate you from everyone because he needed you to depend only
Yep,
on him, and
yep,
you
yep.
weren't having that, right?
Nope,
So
nope.
now you had the second child. He started acting like this, so it went from verbal, emotional to physical. So
Yeah.
now when it get, because your babies were young, so when it got physical, were they around? Like, how did
Oh
you
yeah,
avoid?
my oldest one, because I got to the point where he had punched me in the face, and it got to the point where it was so much anger that arose inside of me. I went to go pick up a kitchen knife, and in the middle of picking up a kitchen knife to stab him, my little daughter got in the middle to say no. She said stop. And that's when at that point I said anything that comes to disturb your peace and to get in the way
Yeah,
of your children, it's time to go. I heard
yeah,
a voice in my head said, it's time
that's
to
it.
go.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is more than enough. You guys argued, you guys fought, but it never got to the extreme where you actually picked up a knife to
Hurt
want
him.
to stab him. So
Yeah.
it's time to go. Normally, when we would have arguments and fights, I would go to the park with the kids to cool off, talk to
Yeah.
my friend, and come back when things died down. But this particular day, August 17th, I heard a voice said, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And at that time I wasn't really into, like, I knew God, I knew he was on my side, but I didn't have faith like a mustard seed. And so I'm thinking in my own strength, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And immediately I got so many connections. That's why I love Facebook. I love Instagram, because I got a connection off of Facebook, and a young lady said, well, here's a number to a domestic violence shelter, and you don't have to say anything. Just go there and they'll take you in. You don't have to do anything. And we literally left with our clothes on our backs and with $5 in my pocket at the time. So
Shaquilla,
it
every
was,
time you move the phone.
oh, sorry, sorry,
So I'm like,
sorry,
it's okay. I understand
sorry.
you getting passionate in the conversation. So, and
Yes,
how old
girl.
were the babies at that time?
4 and arm baby. It was 4 and 1. Yeah, 4 and 1.
Oh, wow. Wow. So now you left. How did you get to leave the house how did you get to leave the house?
Oh, when I called the police and his family, he left. He heard the
Oh,
police come, and
oh,
he was
okay.
already gone before the police got there. However, the police saw the house in a disarray. The police saw the knife that I pulled on him, and the police
Mm.
immediately called CPS
Oh,
because of how the house was. We literally was thumping
bro.
all around that house.
Yeah, really, really was. If they saw all of that.
And he
So,
was beating me like a man, seriously.
Jesus. And the children were there seeing that.
And the children was there. The 1-year-old was in her crib, and the 4-year-old was out playing with her toys. Yep.
Do you think that ever affected mostly, I guess, maybe the 4-year-old?
Yes,
Your
it
girls are
did, because
pretty
she was
intelligent.
very, in the beginning, she was very angry, and children are like a sponge, because she
Yeah.
remember things that God has graced me to forget about.
Oh my gosh, poor baby. So have you ever gotten her counseling?
We all got counseling as a family, and I think
Okay.
it really did a lot of justice, because now she's able to express herself. Before, she was nonverbal, she was not talking, she would just lash out in a lot of anger, and immediately I knew that we needed help, because I'm
Yeah.
like, this was a baby that went from being very joyous, very happy, going to, and then now becoming nonverbal and very angry. That triggered me. Like, no,
Yeah.
Shaquilla, something is not right.
Yes. Yes. And it's a good thing you picked up on it. Because,
Yep.
typically, and I'm not being funny, typically as Black Americans or Black parents, whatever, we just like, man, what you acting crazy about? Like, you know what I'm saying? And we
Right.
cut that off.
Right.
But it's a good thing
Right.
you picked up on that. Maybe her reaction
Mhm.
was, obviously because of what she saw, and maybe what he did and how you reacted. She did it thinking, okay, I don't need to talk. I'm going to just snap. I am
Yeah.
so glad you got them help,
Yeah.
because it's scary. Starting
Yeah.
from 4, you got her help to now. I'm sure everything is weaning off, and she's in a much better
Oh, yeah.
environment and so
Oh
forth.
boy. That little
Yeah,
girl is amazing. She's in a much better state.
yeah,
My husband and her has such a great relationship, where she doesn't have
good.
to feel as if a man should beat on a woman, because my husband does not possess that to me.
Right,
So yeah, she's in a way better state, and I thank God for
right.
that. Yeah.
That's good. So now the night that you left, you said the police came and they
Hmm.
allowed you to leave.
Oh yeah, they wrote up a report. I still have the
Okay.
report. It looks ancient and old, but I have the police report, and the CPS report as well. Yeah, CPS got
Okay.
involved. Of course, me trying to fend for my family, loving my family, want the family to stay together. I lied to CPS and told them everything was okay. And right after my CPS case closed, he started abusing me again. We
So you
started
went
back.
back
Oh yeah. Yep.
after that night. So let
Yep.
me ask you something. That was like the first big thing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
that's the first time you went back. Was there a second and a third time you left and went back?
No. After the second time, I didn't go back. I never turned back. Nope.
Okay.
I never turned
Okay.
back. I
Okay.
decide, and I made up in my mind. I said, Shaquilla, I understand you wasn't raised with a father or a mother. I understand your life was a bit dysfunctional. I understand all that. But at the end of the day, it's about your children as well. Do you want them to
That's
repeat
important.
the cycle that you went through?
Right.
And I said,
Right.
nope, nope. So I had to
Mhm.
think about my children in that instance. It wasn't no longer about keeping the family together because I wanted a family. No.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're girls too, on top of it.
Yep. Yep.
On top of it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
again, guys, for those of you that are just tuning in, it is 8:31, and this is Shaquilla Anadobi. She is a domestic violence survivor. She's telling us her story tonight on how she survived dealing with that with two daughters, beautiful daughters at that.
Thank
Not that
you.
kids are ugly, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
her two beautiful daughters. Because of her faith that she built up, like she said, and I love that you said that you
Yep.
went to church and you did what you did, but you weren't really like, and you know, we got one foot in, one foot out.
Yep.
And but you made a turnaround because I
Yep.
always tell people we stick with God because He stick with us, and He is
Come
going to
on.
keep us. He don't leave us. We don't want to leave
No.
Him.
We leave him.
So,
Yep. Yeah.
right. So I'm glad that you did that and you did what you had to do, especially for the girls. I always tell people you do things for your children, but at the same time, don't lose your life for them because who they gonna be left with? Because there's nobody like your mom at the end of the day,
That part.
you know. So I'm really, really glad that you got out of it. And if you guys have any questions, I know somebody asked, Joy had asked, what was the last straw? So we're gonna go ahead and I have something else to ask you. You said you kept the report. May I ask why do you want to hold on to it?
Because I just want to,
Remember
I
to
don't
drop
know
your
why.
questions because they're going away.
Oh, I don't know why. I just held on to that to show the kids there's no way and like you could ever tell me that you can't get out of something or use something as a
Oh, okay.
crutch. This is
Okay.
evidence for me that I am an overcomer. I didn't
Okay.
use this as a crutch. It's my kind of, if you will, artifact to
Okay.
prove,
Okay.
this is my stepping stone. It was a stepping
Yes.
stone.
Okay. 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 Um. So Joy asked, "What was the final straw?" Because now we know that you went back after that. So this is the
Hmm.
second time. You said the second and last. So what made you leave
Hmm.
this time?
There was no change. It was just very
Okay.
narcissistic behavior. Oh, I'm going to leave. I'm going to do better. Just work with me. I have some things in my life that I could work through. Rear. And I was just like, you know what? On a real, we've been working for too long. It's time for
Yeah.
you to step up or I'm out. And on the
Right.
real, I didn't see no growth, no change, no nothing. It was just all mouth. So
Okay.
at that moment, I had to go.
Yeah. That was it. That's a good thing. No three strikes you out.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go back up because I saw a question. That sounds like
Suzanne said, I keep all my documents.
yeah. I don't know why for me. Oh, Nika. Does he ever try to contact you to see the girls? Remember to
Oh,
drop your
absolutely. But before I even get into that, yeah, absolutely. I don't allow them to hate or not get in contact, but the girls have so outgrown him. So whereas they don't have anything really, nothing to say to him. His conversation is the same conversation when they were 4 and 2 years old, and they're looking at him like, Daddy, we're 9 and 7 years old now. But I'm gonna say I went back to take care of him as well because he got into an induced coma. I didn't
oh,
stay with him. He got into a induced coma. When I left him that year, his sister called me and said, your children's father is about to your children's father is about to your children's father is about to you're about to die. And I'm like, about to die? What do you mean he's about to die?
mm-hmm.
He was in ICU in an induced coma, so he got very sick.
Okay.
Yeah, he got very sick, and I went back and with God's grace and mercy, I went back to care for him, and they said that they're only giving him 72 hours to live, and He's here today. He's just a double amputee. He has no legs, but he's here. He wasn't talking. He wasn't doing anything. And I used to go to the hospital and I declare and I decree that healing is the children's bread. And I used to do that and just allow God to be God. And he got healed. He was healed. He was healed. It's just that he has no legs right now and he's still in rehab.
Oh wow! Well, how did he get into the coma? How did he get a coma?
He got sick after a year that we left. He got sick. He got sick.
Conscience.
Let me tell you something, and I'm not trying to be too deep, but God said, "Touch not my anointed, and do my prophet no harm." And the Lord says, "You reap what you sow."
My God. So. I don't know. I've never been in a situation. I don't know if I would be able to, but I'm sure me, because of my spirit, I probably would. But how did you feel going back to care for him?
I felt amazing, because if I say I love God, who am I not to love my neighbor? Who am I to not have the fruit of the spirit?
Yeah.
You can't love God and not love your neighbor. It's impossible.
Yeah. Good.
And it made me feel free. It made me feel free getting that out. Like I wasn't against you. It was never against you. It was never about me getting vengeance. It was always about making sure that everything was in line and making sure our kids were good and making sure my mental health was good to be able to be here for them. So that's all it was about. And he didn't think it was like, he thought I was against him the whole time. But the whole time his family had no faith. They didn't believe in God and they kept on relying on me. Every step of the way, I made sure his IEP plans and everything, his family called on me to do. And remind you, he have two sisters that's nurses, and I did all his IEP plans.
Yeah, it came right back, and that you're right. They can't, and people that truly have a relationship with Christ know that, and somebody said karma is a bitch, but it wasn't. Well, yeah, it is karma. He got what he had coming. So
yeah.
How did he receive you? What you said, he couldn't. Was he coherent? Like, was he able to?
He was in an induced coma. He said he heard me pray, but he didn't see me. His eyes were closed. He was in a vegetable state, if you will.
She said that's the winning part of when you can look past the hurt they put you and help them. Boy, that's God. That is God.
Yep.
That was the strength of David. He understood boundaries. He did not touch God's anointed. King Saul also, although Saul desired to harm him. So God paid him back. And so I don't want to get too deep and spiritual with that, but those that know. Those that know. Okay? And that's what I like about conversations like this. It comes out, like we get it, we see it, and she's showing you there are still good people, okay? We had this conversation before, but if you got it in you, you got it in you. She could have been nasty and not do it, but at the end of the day, he's still her children.
Let me tell you, a lot of my girlfriends are Jamaicans. They would say, "B, men I go back, men I do that." So stay there, Shaquilla. You're right. Like exactly. They will. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You really had the spirit of God. She said, did it humble him? Do you like not?
No. Nope.
Hey.
Nope. Because even after that, I will go and take the kids, knowing we had an order of protection against one another. I had an order of protection against him, and I was not supposed to go near him, but I did it knowing that he had no legs to take the kids, and he still said, "Shaquilla, you know me own you." No, baby, you don't own me. You don't own me, baby. He was like, "You're bright. Y'all mash up the family." Da 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 da. So yeah.
Wow. So he almost died. Don't got no foot. Neither one. And he just cheats. So he didn't learn.
No, ma'am. No. No, ma'am, he didn't.
That's the same thing I'm thinking. Chantika, Sunken Shorty, like, what will it take for him to get it?
I think what it would take is really
Months.
I don't know, an encounter with God, like to really
Yeah, God
put
gotta
him
come
through.
to him.
I thought this would have woke him up, but it apparently didn't. It apparently didn't. It didn't at all. I thought it would wake him up, but mm-mm.
Wow.
He's still very, very, very bitter. Even that I moved on, married and all, he's still bitter.
She say, all of your air, you and me meant to be. I really love and appreciate how humble you are and your energy. Yeah, this is her. Like, I've known her for years. This is her. Didn't learn anything. He sure didn't bright. Like, yes, he's a demon. Girl, I don't know. I don't want to say he's a demon or not, but Lord, I can't listen. You in an induced coma. That means you can't hear. You ain't seen because your eyes closed. But you, some people say that they come out and they, oh, I remember hearing so and so. He said he
He
heard his
said he
friend.
could hear, but
Right.
he couldn't respond. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he know he was damn near dead, right? And he come out. He wake up out of that coma. Ain't got no feet, no legs, either one. And he still want to be so fisty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God,
Yep.
only God could come and tell him,
Only
bruh,
God, baby. Only
bruh.
God.
That's
And the
I
kids still
know.
speak to him till this day, but they're like, Ma, what is there to say to him? We have nothing else to really say. And I'm like, but you got to be nice. You got to speak to your dad. He is calling you. He's making that effort, but they really have nothing to say to him. They have more conversation with my husband than they do him.
Sad.
So,
That's
yeah.
sad. Exactly, Beatrice. That's sad. He didn't learn. You
Nope.
know, it's like when God get people over to a reprobate mind, they think they're right and won't listen. He get them over to it. Yeah.
And
That's
and
what.
I
Yeah.
think that's exactly where he's at this day. He's still blaming me for mashing up his family, so he says.
Because you left. You weren't supposed to
Because
leave.
I
You're supposed
left.
to stay.
'Cause-
You're supposed
oh
to
yeah.
stay and take
Oh,
the
but
licks.
his mother said if you was a Jamaican woman, you would
Thank you,
stay
Brenda.
and be quiet.
Not all now. Let me tell you something. I don't agree with that. Because some of them very, very, very fit. They don't play. So I
Hmm.
don't agree to that. I don't.
Well, maybe she's talking from her standpoint because that's what she did.
And then remember, he was older. So you're younger. You weren't supposed to be. So, like I said, you ain't supposed to be so sprightly. You're supposed to hush your mouth. Hush, like them say. Like, so
Yeah.
that's what it is. So
Yeah.
so his mom said you were supposed to stay. So she kind of didn't appreciate you leaving either. Like, she felt like he was right. He didn't do nothing wrong. Ah, it's frozen. Brenda Lee. And Brenda Lee, you are actually in Jamaica, right? You ain't in America where they become Americanized. Brenda Lee is like actually in Jamaica. So Shaquilla is at the time she was about 20-something years old. They ain't a 40-something
Mm-hmm.
year old Jamaican man who began starting
Mm-hmm.
to abuse her. And his mom said, well, mom is an enabler. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And the
She
other,
is.
Joanna
She
said
is.
that too. Wow.
She
I
is.
don't really, yeah, I don't
She
really
is
see that.
she is an enabler. She is, because come to find out, he went through abuse from his mom, being her go through it. So that's only the way I guess he knew how to treat a woman.
That's what,
She she
I
did
just saw
20
that. Somebody
years
just
of
typed that.
domestic abuse.
Yeah, idiot. Yeah. No, ma'am. Um, she says, why force the kids to get the notice man when he disappointed them? Good
That's
question.
true, but I just still was trying, to do the godly, the right thing. I was trying, and the kids
Yes.
really don't have nothing.
And I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad
Yeah.
at them. How long? So before I ask that, so we're gonna recap because you guys it's 8:45. You know it cuts us off at 1 hour, and I remember
Hmm.
it'll show me, but it'll give us like 1 minute. So
Okay.
real quick, Brenda Lee said we don't put up with that. I know Jamaican women that's gonna fight. They gonna fight to the teeth. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what she talking about. Somebody said
Well,
she's crazy to the
his mother is really old school. You know, at the time she's in her 60s, so I guess that's how, you know,
Yeah,
her,
you're strong.
I don't know.
You're so strong. I
Thank
love
you,
you,
Neek.
girl.
Love
Kids are
you.
smart. Yes, kids are smart. They see it like, bro, I ain't trying to be cool with you. I gotta speak what my mama said
No.
speak, but I ain't really trying to do. I agree. It's not the kid's fault for his wrong. Yeah,
No.
yeah. But they saw it and they experienced it and they just don't want to. They said we are tough. Kids know better than us. Yeah, they pick up on spirit. So we got a couple of questions. Let's see. Did his father abuse her? Yes, that's what she said. His mom
Yes.
dealt with it for 20 years. So
Yes.
she think, oh no, I stayed in it, you supposed to stay in it. So Neek says, I love you, Shaq. You're so strong, beautiful. Shaq attack. I like that. I like that. So this is the one I wanted to wait for. No, not this. This is the wrong question. We already responded to that. So this is good. So now we're gonna get off of him. No names being called. Shaquilla and Adobe, who is now happily married to her Nigerian man, her African king. And let me tell y'all, this glow right here, listen,
It's God's snatch glory, honey.
I know you glowing for sure. So, because when we first met, she wasn't married. I don't know if he was courting her then, but I remember. So I remember that because we was studying the word.
That's right.
And ain't no man in the picture. But I love this question. So we're gonna get off of him. You went through it, you dealt with it, you forgave him, thank God. And because like I've learned because I done did a whole women's y'all know that's not my word. I did a women's revival and I spoke on forgiveness. And y'all would never believe that during it, I got my revelation. Like everything just flooded out. So forgiveness is not for him, it's for you so you can move on. And I love that and I'm glad that you did it. And so now we offer him. You in a whole different. So I love this question. How long did it take you to give this new man a chance? Were you mean to him and stuff?
Very. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100, honey, because he came. And let me tell you something. I do think, and not trying to get too deep, I do think a man knows when he wants to marry you, because because it's just everything. I mean, a real man wouldn't just come out and say, "You're my wife." You know what I'm saying? And he came out and said that. And number one, the question I said to him was, "Who sent you?" I said, baby, you ain't my wife. Who told you that? He didn't say God, so thank God he didn't say that, because if he said that, he would be right where he at. He just said through our conversation and our courting, I just do believe this is what I'm looking for. He didn't say, oh, God sent me. He wasn't all that deep, because if he said that, he would have stood right in the inbox, in the DM. He would have been in the DM. So, but no, he said, I'm your husband. And I was just like, wait a minute. I was very nasty in the beginning. He even brings it back up to me. I'm like, babe, you were really mean to me. And I was like, I wasn't mean. It's just, I had a wall up. Yeah. And at that time, I wasn't really looking for anybody. So he came very unexpected as well.
Mm-hmm. And how you
and then it's just, yeah. And then it's just so funny because on my book tour, that's how I met him. And I was just like, wait a minute, that's like kind of like Stella got her groove back in a sense, you know, like God, you know, I'm over here doing my own business. Like Esther, I'm in the vineyard working for myself, promoting my book, and I meet this man. And we started, like I said, we started talking and exchanging. And it's just like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. At that age, I believe I was in my late 20s, but I felt like I was 16 with butterflies. I felt like he just took me off of my foot and romanced me and dined me. And from then, I was just like, he's different. He's real different. Like, I've dated, I've courted, and I've only courted older men. It was never anyone younger than me or my age. And my husband is 3 years older than me, so it's not like we got a big age gap. He's in his 30s. So that's a blessing. So he just did a lot of things that I've never experienced. And he said, I'm gonna protect you. You know what I'm saying? And he took me for who I was, and I molded and grew into the woman that God has called me to be for him.
Good.
So
Good. That's awesome. That is really, really good.
with my children now, with my children, and those is his
Right.
children. Don't come. But I'm like, but they my. He said, they ours. You know. So
Right.
I love that about him as well. Yeah.
Yeah. That's still the deal right there. You accept me with that because ain't no option.
Yeah.
So we got two more questions. It is 8:51, and I'm just gonna drop these really quick because Instagram will literally cut us off. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
It says, what advice would you give others about red flags in a abusive relationship?
I would say really look into them, just the little signs of emotional, verbal, because like I said, maybe they were there. I was very,
Naive.
gullible, I would
Yeah.
say. I
You were
didn't
young.
pay attention. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to them, but the red flags were there. I would say that. I'm not going to sit there and lie. The red flags were there. I was
Okay.
gullible and I didn't look at them. But
You figured
please
they
pay
were going
attention. The first red flag you see, make sure you really take
to
heed
nip it
into
in the
that.
bud.
Don't say, oh, no, nip that thing in the bud.
Yeah, bro, I'll cut you. You get a little crazy and just letting you know in advance, okay? I ain't gonna shoot you, but I'm gonna cut you, okay? And what was the greatest lesson you learned from that relationship?
I learned, to be honest with you, I learned a lot. I learned healing. I learned growth. I learned even being with
Right.
someone unequally yoked and even finding the blessing out of it, because my children are amazing. I would not trade my children for nobody else. I love my husband. We're going to have our own set, but I love my children. The blessed thing that came out of this
Them, that
relationship
was
with the
him with
children's
them.
father was Sanaya and Sasha.
That's good. That's good. Because you have to, you cannot not love them. You make them
No, nope,
regardless. So
nope.
that is beautiful. She said a first red flag run. So don't even halt.
Yes. Don't
Don't
even
even
say no. I'm
right.
a overlook that. Nah, cut it. Cut it. You heard that song? Cut it. Cut it. Cut it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, well, yeah. I don't know. I never experienced it, so I don't know if I would, like you said, you saw it, but you're like, maybe he just whatever. But oh my God, this is really, really good. If you guys are just tuning in and you missed it, make sure you catch the replay and drop a comment when you catch the replay.
Yeah.
As you know, the entire month we are interviewing women that are domestic violence survivors and warriors. I won't say warrior because they ain't in it no more, so they don't gotta fight, but they out. They
Amen.
good.
Amen.
They made it through. They made it through. She say
Amen.
fun or run or shoot or stab. We're not entertaining violence. But I really appreciate, I really honestly from the bottom of my heart, starting with Sierra, Joanna, Suzanne, you guys, just to be able to share this and laugh about it, that's healing in itself. You know what I mean? And you guys know I post after this, the people that may be watching this or seeing it, or someone that you think is going through, but they don't know how to talk, send them to my DM. And you got to be careful how to talk to them. You guys, I want to, I think she's on here. I'm not sure if she's still on or not. But the last, the one before this one, which was with Joanna out of Canada, we have already started the process of creating a domestic violence organization in Canada. So keep an eye out for that. And the reason why we did that, because she says over there, there's not a lot of resources for
Really?
for the Black community. So we are working on that. So I'll be sharing more about that with you guys very, very soon. Journey to Freedom CA, if you guys can follow that page. And it's the number 2. So Journey to Freedom CA for Canada. And I'll share it here. You guys can definitely go follow the page. Journey to Freedom.
Oh, love you too, Sun Kiss, Shorty. Oh,
that's Shantika.
really?
Here Yeah, you remember you met her. I connected you guys in Atlanta. I don't know if y'all
Yes.
had ever.
Okay.
So yeah. So yeah, make sure you guys follow Journey to Freedom CA. Oh, really quick before you cut us off, we got like 2 minutes. Tell them about your book, where they can purchase your book, and how they can follow you.
Yes, you can follow me right here at Simply Shaquilla. You can follow me on Facebook at Shaquilla Anidobu, Anidobu. And also
Girl,
my
you
book
gotta
is
type that.
called Cage Without a Voice on Amazon by Shaquilla Williams. Cage Without a Voice on
And I'll
Amazon.com.
post it too. I'll post it.
Yes.
For sure. So again, thank you so much. Thank each and every one of you, my viewers. The Cori Love Show cannot be the Cori Love Show without you all. Y'all religiously come on here with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I truly love and appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to continue doing this Thursday. I won't be here. I am going to be taking some self-love time as I take a class
Yes.
to get better
Good.
at things that I do. So I won't be on this Thursday, but I will be back next week. Tuesday and Thursday, we're gonna be back on with Jarrell of the Bold Ambassador and Shonda of Renegade Radio Chicago, and then we are going to be closing out on the following week with Tashetta of TDH
Nice.
Ministries. So make sure you guys come in, tune in, share this out. She has a podcast. Yes, she does.
Yes, I do. I forgot to say that.
Is reminding you about your own stuff, girl.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. Yes, I do. I do. And I'm getting back on there and I'm starting to do new episodes. So stay tuned. It's called Shaquilla Speaks. Yes. Yes.
I love that name. All right. And make sure I need to get your book. I can't believe I haven't gotten one yet. Yes, I'm already. She said she already on the 3rd episode. Yes. So I think she's talking about hers because she has one.
Oh, well, I'm about to get on yours too. We're going to support one another.
Correct. I was just about to say that.
Because Cori, she's the queen of that. She supports everybody. Everybody.
I try my best. And Melanin Queens too. She is amazing. Like I don't know. I done been on. Melanin Queens is the bomb at that. And to shout like everybody that's on here. Like seriously, I really appreciate each and every one of you out from the bottom of my heart because I can't be here. Like who we gonna talk to each other? If we won't be here if it wasn't for y'all. So make sure that you guys continue to follow, share this out. I want to take it away from just Instagram to coming to you in different places, different cities. So make sure that you continue to support me. The sponsorship goes towards making sure that I have the materials that I need, building up the website.
And I will be dropping me a seed. This is fertile ground. I will be dropping me a seed. This is fertile ground.
I received that. Thank you. So she said, "Oh, you already." She talking about your
Yeah, she was talking about mine. Yeah.
Let me tell you, Tashetta, that's another one. Like y'all are the bomb. Like, listen, I want to have like a Cori Love. What do you call them? Like not a seminar, but like a gathering,
retreat or something. Because I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
I'm really just overwhelmed. Like y'all don't understand.
I'm ready for it.
So yeah,
I'm ready.
That'll be next year, 2022, when we kind of clear. Definitely, again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Again, this is Shaquilla Anidobu. Make sure you follow her at Simply Shaquilla. Check out her book on Amazon, Cage Without a Voice, and also her podcast, Shaquilla Talks. So I am going to go ahead and close out. You guys already know, as I do, I always tell you guys guidance, blessings, and love. Make sure you guys share this out with someone. If you were just tuning in, catch the replay, follow us both, and check out Journey to Freedom CA, which is going to be our organization for domestic violence survivors in Canada. I will be seeing you guys next Tuesday, okay? I'm going to send a reminder. All right? Thank you again so much, Shaquilla.
Thank you, Cori. Good night.
You're welcome.